certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see them as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked?
I do think that works, Tanya Freeman. I know Sean thinks that works, and he's going to be here any moment, Tanya. But shall we kick it off introducing these heart-centered, growth-minded individuals for the leaders of color bridging the health gap, Heart of Influence?
Wow, I didn't mean to call it health gap, but all good. It's wealth. Health.
Well, oh, you know what?
You can make it health, but I was thinking wealth.
I was going to say that made a little bit more sense when it said like health on the sheet. I was like, I don't know if that makes very sense for everybody that you introduced here today. So bridging the wealth gap, that makes a little bit more sense. So let's kick this off. And first, from East Orange, New Jersey, running a foundation honoring his aunt, the first African-American woman to be elected twice as lieutenant governor, for the first one to be a speaker of the House of New Jersey, supporting women with political aspirations and creating opportunities for affordable housing and employment to underdeserved communities, individuals, impacting over 5,000 people in just 2 years and growing. Let's welcome to the show, Charles Oliver.
Thank you for having me.
Hello again. Welcome, Charles. And as we shared in the green room, you get to share a fun fact. Now, this could be like something cool that you've done, something that you're proud of, or just anything, Charles, that would make us go, Charles, no way.
Fun fact about me is that in high school, I was 1,000-point scorer on my basketball team.
Whoa. Now, for all of those sports enthusiasts, and we'll have to repeat that fun fact for Sean, because that'll be coming from one sports enthusiast to another. That will be wildly impressive. Now, is that 1,000 points? Like, is that your whole high school career?
Yeah, but actually, I scored 1,000 points my last 2 years of high school at my school, Scotch Plains High School, where I finished up at. So I did it in 2 years.
Yes, that's not easy.
That's not easy. That is impressive, Charles. That is what we call whoa, fun facts. So, Charles, thank you for that. And are you ready to have some fun?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Let's do it. Next up, coming from Atlanta, Georgia, 30 years as a corporate executive turned successful entrepreneur, has supported 9,000 humans throughout 13 countries, reducing hiring costs, retaining great talent, and accelerating executives to lead beyond what they think is possible, 3 times faster than the norm. Let's welcome to the show, Emily Nichols Mitchell. Emily, hello again. Welcome to the Heart of Influence again. And Emily, what is the fun fact that you would like this group to know about you?
I learned how to ride a horse at 5 years old.
Rode a horse at 5. Now, do you continue to ride horse? Was that something you wanted to do? You were forced to do?
No, I grew up with horses. So my sister had a horse, I had a horse, my mom had a horse. So I learned how to ride a horse at 5. And I loved it. And I had no idea that that was such an expensive hobby until I left home. So I have not been riding since.
Was riding horses while at home, while the parents were footing the bill. But as soon as parents weren't footing the bill, there was no more horse riding. That's what I'm hearing.
That's right.
Awesome.
Belvita, hello.
Hello.
I think we heard the voice of Sean Callagy.
We did.
Yes. Can you see me, Bill?
We cannot.
That's outstanding. How is this?
Now we can see you.
Hello. So little tech challenges. Thank you, team. Hello, the Tanya Freeman. Coming back to the amazingness of Tanya, Bella, Ola, and Let's Rock.
Hola. And then Sean, I definitely have to share with you, we introduced Charles first, and Charles, his fun fact was he scored 1,000 points in basketball in his last 2 years of high school, which I thought you found very impressive.
Cool. And Charles, where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school at Scotch Plains Fairmont High School in Scotch Plains, New Jersey.
Beautiful. Congratulations on that, for sure. Bella Rita, March Madness in the house.
March Madness is in the house. I'm surprised you didn't know the mascot of that school, too. He usually knows the mascots of all the high schools in New Jersey. But again,
Scotch
and then
Plains was Jeffrey Hammonds, right? It was Scotch Plains?
Raiders.
Yes, but Jeff Hammonds, the baseball player.
Yes.
Was from Scotch Plains.
Jeff.
So at least I knew that, Bella Rita.
At least you knew that. And then we introduced Emily. Fun fact, learned to ride horses at the age of 5. So welcome, Emily. And next up, rolling with this crew from Chicago, Illinois, bringing together Black business-minded people, leading families and communities toward empowerment, enlightenment, and education. Financial advisor with a banking intuition, helping individuals manage their money and a plan for the future. Financial literacy and motivational speaker training for 20 years, started in advisory 8 years ago to help create, protect, and pass on generational wealth. Let's welcome to the show, Dan Duster.
Who's that guy?
Dan, warm welcome to Tanya Freeman's Heart of Influence, and please, your fun fact.
So I'll give you 2. One, I'm the opposite of Charles. My high school point total in basketball was about 16 points for the whole team.
Well, Dan, that's a lot more than 0.
Hey, it's my most proud moment. Making the team as a bench warmer, that's still one of my most proud moments. But fun fact for me is I'm a descendant, and I'm a great-grandson of Ida B. Wells. That is my father's grandmother.
Wow. Inspired, present to it. Thanks for being here. Bella, some heart-centered people, whether they put the ball in the hole or not. Come on, Bella.
Heart-centered for sure. Next up, coming from Cranford, New Jersey, leads a firm specializing in guiding divorcing homeowners through financial and mortgage complexities, collaborates with legal and financial professionals to create strategic mortgage solutions that protect clients' financial futures. 20 plus years of experience, provides expert advice on mortgage qualifications, equity buyouts, loans, and loan assumptions, and financial stability. Let's welcome to the show, Alex Sanchez.
Alex, warm welcome to Tanya Freeman's Heart of Influence, and please, your fun fact.
Hi, Sean. So I found out 5 years ago that Well, prior to 5 years ago, I couldn't cook. I would eat out all the time, and I found out 5 years ago that I am an excellent cook. I putting things together, and yes, I've been married 5 years now, so it's been a blessing.
Amen. That is outstanding. Bella, see, I'm
Yeah.
a great cook too. Just like Alex. Not. So Alex, thank you for that. Warm welcome. Bella Rita, come on.
Yeah, you can cook up a mean glass of ice water from the fridge.
I am phenomenal at ice water from the fridge. Just the right amount of ice, Alex. Bella, please.
Yes. Next up, coming from Orange, New Jersey, Grammy Award-winning songwriter with 3 Billboard #1 songs with Travis Scott, Drake, and Jack Harlow. 2-time producer of the year, founded an independent record label, signing other producers and artists as well, working on a foundation to help inner city schools and communities centers to develop music, art, and sports programs. Let's welcome to the show, Douglas Ford, aka Dougie F.
Oh, one more time. The crowd went so wild. I missed that.
Dougie F.
Dougie F. So warm welcome to the Heart of Influence, and please, your fun fact.
Thank you. My fun fact is I played basketball with Kyrie Irving growing up. Yep. So that's still a good friend of mine. Yeah.
Very good. Well, that is outstanding. Bella, we have a hoops theme. I'm going to go with a little hoopsness in my fun fact later. So thank you for that, Bella. Rita, come on.
Let's do it. Next up, there's a woman that brought us all here together from East Hanover, New Jersey. Top divorce attorney representing pro athletes, TV personalities, entertainers, and corporate execs. Chair of the board of directors for University Hospital in New Jersey. Chair of New York Black Business Alliance. Named one of the 25 most influential people in healthcare in 2022. Gives generously to her alma mater, where she creates an emergency fund meeting short-term financial needs for economically disadvantaged students. Also a mother of a cool half dozen children. Let's welcome to her show, Tanya Freeman.
Tanya, this is a growth-driven, heart-centered, integrous, committed to mastery woman, leader in so many diverse ways. So thank you, Tanya Freeman, for everything you do, for being a cause in the matter of today. An honor to call you my partner, our partner in Black Business Unblinded. Please, Tanya, what is your fun fact?
So I grew up in a little city across the Hudson called New York, and everybody converges on New York on New Year's Eve to watch that ball fall. And I've done it not once, but twice, but from the comfort of a very private pen in the smack heart of Times Square. I've watched the ball fall 2 years in a row on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
That's
Tanya,
fun.
that is spectacular. I've often wondered, what do people do if they have to use the restroom? That's a story for a later day. But Tanya Freeman, thank you. Maybe we could talk about that offline. Bella and Tanya, you'll introduce Miss Bella Rita. This woman started selling crafts on her front lawn as an 8-year-old. She progressed to being a 7-figure business generator in the space of network marketing by the age of 19. Yes, network marketing, teenager, 7 figures. Those words don't normally go together. They do in her case. She then became a 3-peater, like Michael Jordan, except not in hoops, but instead in business brokerage. She became Nevada's #1 business broker, did it 3 straight times. First woman ever to do it at all. And in this male-dominated industry, she was the youngest person, male or female, ever to be Nevada's #1 business broker. She began to train Fortune 500 companies and entrepreneurs. In fact, in 2019, every sales team this woman worked with doubled their sales. She's a skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer in the most extreme of conditions. Maybe she learned it from a blind man, maybe from YouTube. Since I had some technical difficulties, I think it might be YouTube right now. She also raised 8 figures for charity in the past 2 years with the Unblinded team. 2-time published author who in 2023 courageously, resiliently, powerfully battled and defeated cancer. Let's welcome to Tanya Freeman's Heart of Influence, the woman in her 1600th episode of this show that put the heart in it. The one, the only, Bella Rita! Miss Bella Rita, please, your fun fact.
My fun fact for today, Sean, since, we're talking about what we did in high school, I thought I'd go with the fun fact that in high school, I was selling drugs. I sold drugs in high school, but in January, I became a pastor. So my fun fact is I went from drug dealer to God dealer. That's my fun fact for today, Sean Gallagher.
Let's go. Drug dealer to God dealer. That is Bella Verita. Shall we do the things, B?
We shall do the things. So let me introduce my co-host, the man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Gallagher. He beats world champions like Bet Key at body surfing competitions. He is only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, and the only one that's blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. In fact, the state of New Jersey actually named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, Tony Robbins 18 times. And when he's not busy flying around speaking on stages, he's an incredible philanthropist that raised nearly $10 million for charities in the last 2 years. Let's welcome to the show, Mr. Sean Gallagher.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Thank everybody for being here today. So yes, I'm a blind man that has taught sighted people to ski, to surf, and scuba dive in the most extreme of conditions. In fact, on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and today, I was surfing in the Atlantic Ocean, blind, by myself, nobody on the beach, in 45-degree ocean temperatures. So that's a fun fact number 1. The hoops fun fact is right down the block from me grew up Eddie Peterson. When I was the Columbia University baseball captain, he became the Yale basketball captain. We went to high school together. Eddie was the 2nd all-time leading scorer in the history of Yale. And his dad, Mr. Peterson, who I'm going to be meeting with on Friday in 2 days, is best friends with Bob Hurley Sr. So I've known Danny Hurley and Bobby Hurley since we turned into the double digits during the Wonder Years. I used to watch the St. Anthony's basketball team where Danny Hurley, the UConn coach, went playing pickup games in the Petersons' backyard down the block. And I was busy playing baseball. They were playing hoops, but it all worked out. Bella Verita for all of us, I think. So that is my fun fact for today.
That sounds like a super fun fact, Sean Gallagher. And shall we do the things?
Let's do the things. Who's going first?
Let's kick it off with Emily.
Emily, we're going from hello to yes, because that's what causes everything in our leadership, management, recruitment, fundraising, charitably and for profit, as well as, of course, of marketing, selling, all of it happens after yes. But pitching, hooking, closing, I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, but I think for a lot of us, it feels kind of like, yuck. So what does it look like when integrous people who are heart-centered come together and a yes should actually happen? So to illustrate this, thanks for joining the more than 8,000 people, Emily, and all that have been on this show. 8,000 people, just like you fine folks today, have been on this show since its inception in the COVID beginning. And Bella will be to illustrate the ability to go from hello to yes. Bella's going to be anybody you'd like her to be. She could be an ideal client. She could be a charitable fundraising partner. She could be somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey or Warren Buffett. Anyone, Emily, that you'd want to go from hello to yes with. Footnote, it doesn't have to be the ultimate yes. It could just be a yes for a longer conversation. Doesn't have to be a sale. Doesn't have to be final. Just could be a yes for more coming down the pike. So Emily, please, who would you like Bella to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
Like Bella to be Oprah Winfrey.
Hey.
Bella, let's go. Oprah is in the house.
Hello, this is Oprah.
Hi, Bella. Hi, Oprah. I would love to understand what I would need to do as the world's best executive coach on the planet. How could I get on one of your shows so that I could share some of the tips and tricks around how to be a better leader in this political environment?
I hear your passion for sure. And of course, everybody has a proposal to come on the show. And so, but there's some reason my team, said I should meet with you. So what is it that you want me to know? What sets you apart? And, why should I have you on the show versus the 800,000 people that call me every day saying I need to be on your show?
Well, for one, is I really have this uncanny knack for being able to see within 5 minutes the possibilities that leaders can't see within themselves. And a lot of people, it takes them 2 to 3 coaching sessions before they're able to help leaders have the vision and really see it for themselves so they can actually make the transformation. A lot of times leaders want to talk about how to make people feel good, but I am an outcome-driven leadership coach and leadership expert. And I want to make sure that you are the leader that other people want to follow.
Got it. So sounds interesting. I've heard a lot of things like this. So why don't you send over, if you've got like a deck or a proposal, I'll take a look at it. And then if we move forward, I'll have the team reach out.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. So wonderful to meet with you, Emily. Awesome. Great job. Emily, we'll get to the feedbackers in just a moment. But next up, Charles. Charles, who would you like for me to be?
I would like for you to be J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling. Although I haven't read the books, I'm very fan of her quotes. I'm looking at one right across my desk. So let's do it.
Let's go, J.K.
Let's go. Hello, this is J.K.
Hi, J.K. Pleasure to meet you.
Hi, how are you, Charles? Pleasure to meet you as well.
Yes, I'm a huge fan, first and foremost.
Thank you.
Really appreciate all the work that you do. Why should you be on the show?
Why should I be on the show?
Yes.
What show? Do you have a show?
Yes, I do have a show, but
Okay.
I was under the impression that there was an additional show that you had interest in being a part of.
Okay. And so, yeah, and forgive me, my team set up the call. So they just said I had to talk to you. They didn't really tell me about a show. So this is the show that you have that you want me to be on, or I have a show and you're wanting me to be on?
No, we have a show. I have a show that I would like for you to be on because your story is just such an incredible story of perseverance and resilience. And I think as more people, a lot of people know about your story. Of course, you're J.K. Rowling, you're a legend. But I think the younger generation needs to hear more about your story as well, and some of the ups and downs and the adversity that you had to overcome to get to the amount of success that you have been able to achieve.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that tremendously. And yeah, Charles, I definitely like to give back to the community. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your show?
Well, my show really caters to younger children in underserved communities who come from unfortunate circumstances. And essentially, I like to bring successful people on the show like yourself to really give them, to showcase to them that there are a way out of their circumstances and that they can achieve, the American dream as you have.
That is, I cannot say no to anything that has to do with children. So the fact that it is to educate children, I would definitely be honored to be a guest on your show.
That is so great. That is so amazing. You just made my day. Thank you so much. It's gonna be terrific.
Awesome. Thank you. Great job, Charles. Great job, Emily. And yes.
Camera on, Bill?
Camera's on.
All right, beautiful. So yes, Charles, Emily, great job. Let's get the feedbackers though, Bill, Rita. Come on, stop lollygagging.
Let's get to the feedbackers, otherwise known as judges. Judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. And so it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for Emily or for Charles, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then like a little next step scoring system. Is that next step you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Emily or Charles? I don't think a root canal is necessary today. So maybe that longer conversation is like over a cup of coffee for a little mocha chocolate and a little croissant for a little bit longer of a meeting. But if that's not enough time, then you would rent a private room at the Capitol Grill, getting the seafood tower and the nice juicy steak. Unless you're a vegan, of course, maybe you're having salad and French fries. but you're not skipping out on dessert because you want to have the longest meeting possible. And if that is still not enough time, then you would be willing to rent a private jet, flying anywhere in the world to have the longest meeting possible with Emily or Charles. Let's kick it off with Dan. And Dan, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Emily, please?
Sure. So Emily thought a great job engaging with Oprah. You expressed confidence and clarity. One of the things that I liked that you said, what makes you different as a coach is being an outcome based coach, not just making people feel good. And so I think that, you use, again, talking to somebody, you've only got a brief amount of time. I thought that you used the time very judiciously and effectively.
Excellent job, and we thank you for that. And please, would it be the follow-up of like a cup of coffee, a meal, something longer? What would that look like?
So minimally a cup of coffee. I mean, so if I can do a trip around around the globe, hey, come on, Emily. But yeah, definitely a cup of coffee, a good meal at the Capitol Grill. I used to live in the DC area, so I'm not sure if that's where you are, Bella, but yeah,
Let's go.
Capitol Grill for a meal and continue the conversation.
A filet, a seafood tower. Bella, we're rocking the things. Come on now.
Filet and seafood towers. Next up, we got Alex. Alex, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Charles?
Charles, I feel Charles was well put together as far as getting directly to what he wanted to accomplish with setting the appointment. I feel that he knew what he wanted. What kind of outcome he was looking for, and definitely would have a steak dinner with my brother Charles, especially after scoring all those points in 2 years. Absolutely, that's definitely something we got to talk about.
Alex, you put the ball in the hole, you get steak dinners. That's what I'm hearing from you, Bella. Come
Absolutely.
on. Come on.
Let's go. Next up, we got Dougie F. Dougie, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Emily, please?
Emily, she had a lot of confidence talking to Oprah. Like Dan said, she was very focused on outcome and not just like band-aid solutions. And yeah, she kept a smile on her face. She was, I think I would definitely go for Capitol Grill dinner to, hear more about it.
All right. We have a lot of steak, some coffee. Thank you, Dougie F. Appreciate that. Bella, I'm feeling full right now. I know about you.
I know you're feeling full because you got to eat. I'm getting hungry from all this steak talk. Let's go. Tanya. Tanya, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Charles?
So I thought Charles started beautifully by acknowledging JK and all that she's done, all that she's overcome. I thought that was so beautiful. And if I were to offer an optimization, it would be like a micro outcome. I felt like, hey, come on my show, might have been quick. For a 3-minute meeting, it might have been, hey, let's have a deeper conversation. But overall, Charles, I don't eat steak, but I would definitely do the seafood tower or maybe the Chilean sea bass at the Capitol Grill with Charles, 100%.
That is awesome, Tanya.
That is, and I didn't know you didn't eat steak, Tanya. I just learned that.
I do not eat red meat.
Wow.
Whoa. Yes,
That's
I did know
a
that.
fun fact.
I did know that. And Tanya eats clean like I do, Bella, and we're gonna teach you a lot about eating soon.
Yeah, I'll look forward to your book on that.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
thank
the
you very
next
much.
one.
Tanya, you know what time it is. I'm sensing some perturbedness coming my way, so I'm gonna get an extra bit of heat. So, but just remember that you're my friend, Tanya. Bella, over to you.
Yes. Tanya, as you well know, and everyone, this is the time in the show that I get to put my co-host on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about because I've been cooking them up as the show has been going on. Of course, Tanya, you get to choose what scenario we go with. You can choose one of my scenarios, or you can scrap them and come up with something much, much harder if you would like. Are you ready to hear what I have for today?
Let's go. I'm sure you have some, just from the look on your face, I know you have something great. So let's go.
I definitely do. So option number one is I have to admit I was a little bit jealous and envious of you getting to be in a private pin for the New Year's ball drop. So my first hello to yes scenario is Sean would have to go from hello to yes with the Times Square Alliance, which apparently is who gets to make the decisions on who gets a private pin, for a private unblinded pin for 2025 New Year's Eve. So that is option number one. Option number two, I thought both of our participants did a fantastic job, and maybe we could do a little reverse role play. So option number two is Sean could role play Emily going from hello to yes with Oprah Winfrey to be on her show. Or option number three is Sean could be Charles going from hello to yes with J.K. Rowling to have her on his show. So those are the three options I have for you today, Tanya. Any of those tickle your fancy?
So the private pen for the unblinded team, I think is great because I promise you don't have to wear a pamper because you're only out there for 15 minutes. That is a mega hello to yes. And I think Sean should get like the whole unblinded ecosystem in that pen. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot. That is a lot of people. And so who do you want to play Mr. President of the Times Square Alliance? And from what I read, it is not easy. And there's like a wait list. And so it's like to scrap all those wait list people, move us to the front of the line and give us a pin for 2025. And who do you want to play Mr. President of the Times Square Alliance?
I think Alex.
Alex, are you up for playing President Alex of the Times Square Alliance?
Sure, why not? I'll play.
All right.
Hi, is President Alex available?
Yeah, speaking.
Hey, President Alex, this is Sean Callaghy. We had a 3-minute conversation
Hi, Sean.
for today. Hey, how are you? Still a good time?
Definitely good time.
Yeah, no, thank you. So listen, I know you get, these requests all the time. I can't even imagine how annoying, frustrating, inundating all of it is. And I will keep us to our 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 45 seconds and counting. But if I could ask President Alex, what even prompted you to take this call? I'm super grateful that you even did it. But what prompted you to take this call in the first place, Mr. President?
I understand there was an interest in one of the spots here for New Year's.
Yeah, no, for sure. But
So
I'm
I
sure
wanted to.
yeah, please.
No, go ahead, guys.
Oh no, I was sharing. So, but I'm sure you're inundated with those types of requests. So, what prompted you to give me the honor and privilege of the conversation? I mean that authentically. I'm very grateful. But why are we even on the phone, sir?
I understand that you wanted more information on the time for New Year's. So I wanted to see how we can accommodate you.
Wow, that's incredibly generous of you that we're even on this call, and that's absolutely. I know there's a waiting list, but I guess my question, President Alex, is, and I don't feel obviously better than anyone. I don't want to feel disrespectful to anyone. But I'm curious of how this works. What's the ultimate mission, vision, purpose? I've read on the website. I understand a little bit about it. We would, of course, not be asking for a favor, but we'd want to be bringing tremendous value to this event, to the Times Square Alliance, all of it. So I guess I'm asking President Alex, is there any way that we can do something to create value that fits into the ultimate mission, vision, purpose of the Times Square Alliance to do something for this upcoming year, 2025? And I guess like my precursor to that is, what's the why behind the association, the foundation, your role, and how is that ultimately fulfilled, please?
Well, Sean, I have to tell you that there's usually a 1 to 2 year waiting list just to get on. So I do appreciate the eagerness or the interest in bringing that in. But can you share a little more of why we might even consider that opportunity for you, or what do you bring to the table as far as why should we put you on that waiting list for 2 years?
Yeah, and President Alex, for sure. I think there's a lot of different value that I could potentially provide. But I guess my question is, what's valuable to you fine folks? What's the why behind the alliance? Because I'm not here to pitch you something. I'm not here to even expect that I would have value to provide. I mean, I think I might, but what is valuable to the alliance? Is it, the charitable fundraising components to this? Is it giving opportunities? Is it bringing attention to the Times Square Alliance that goes far beyond, New Year's to bring value to Times Square and its essence and story? So if you wouldn't mind sharing, President Alex, what is it that's valuable to you and your incredible organization?
It's pretty much the reputation that comes behind it, not only bringing value to the community, but also as far as what we can expose to publicize out there as an image of value, and that's something that we're very particular about, who we bring in and aboard, and who we get the opportunity to be a part of this alliance. So that's very meaningful to us as far as who we bring along, who we get the opportunity to be part of.
Received, with gratitude. So in the final, I know we're at time, but can I have 30 more seconds of your time to share a couple quick thoughts before we pause?
I mean, you're gonna have to cut it into half because I'm really, really busy.
Sure. So very simply, President Alex, I think we could raise millions of dollars and I understand that the Times Square Alliance is about unity, to bring an incredible message of unity. We could bring some remarkably influential people, like A-list celebrities, into that box on New Year's Eve and look to raise money not only for the Alliance, but its favorite charities amongst the city, for homelessness, for battered women, whatever that would look like. And I know we're at time. I'm simply proposing a 30-minute additional meeting. And to have that meeting, Mr. President, if we can come on down and share some things with you and figure this out, I'd be happy to make a $25,000 donation to the foundation, the Times Square Alliance, if you find our meeting not fruitful, because I think we'd have the opportunity to use this New Year's Eve night to bring a message of unity in New York, bring a tremendous amount of fundraising capability to a variety of charitable organizations, including the Times Square Alliance. So I'm not here to ask a favor. I'm not here to say that we're cool. I'm really not cool. But what I am is somebody that could bring about results if they're valuable to you. And from what I'm hearing, I really think we can. So how would it resonate, President Alex, to have a 30-minute follow-up conversation to see how we could bring value and become a part of the event and not at all be skipping the line, but be a partner? President Alex, please.
That's something that we can entertain, and we can definitely do a follow-up 30-minute call. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I'll get that scheduled. ... Out of line. Great job, Alex, giving me a hard time. Thank you, Tanya and Bella. You really did a wonderful job as President Alex. You did a great job in that
Great job.
spot today. But President Alex, how was your time today on Tanya's Heart of Influence? You did wonderfully. And how'd I do having the conversation with President Alex, please?
Were you talking to Alex, Sean?
Yeah, I was asking you, Alex. Yeah, how was your time today?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think you did great. I mean, very. I was trying to really throw you off the marker there, but I couldn't shake you off. So I was very, very impressed the way you came back. And I was kind of like going around in circles trying to say the same thing, but just circling around the same message. And you just came back to the realization of what was the ground part of getting the 30-minute appointment. So,
thank you.
I think you're great. I mean, I didn't scare you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, thank you. And how was your time, Alex, on Tanya Freeman's Heart of Influence today?
It's great.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you. So, Emily, thank you for being in that participant seat. Loved the message, the energy, the Oprah Winfrey role play. And Emily, how was your time today on Tanya's Heart of Influence?
First, thank you, Tanya, for allowing me to be on your show. This has been fabulous to watch how different personalities and individuals come together. And I guess there's some girl power because I don't eat red meat either. So we have that in common. So Bella, do you eat red meat?
I do eat red meat.
You do?
Oh,
Yes.
Bella.
Emily, I keep telling her to stop, but she just won't listen.
Yeah, he's always taking the team out for steak dinners all the time.
Had a wonderful time. It was great to watch you in action, and I look forward to building additional relationships with the people on the show. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Emily. Appreciate you. Charles, 1,000-point scorer. That is an indication, certainly, of mastery. For those that don't understand that dynamic, it's an extremely rare accomplishment. Congratulations on doing it in your final 2 years alone. Remarkable. And Charles, a beautiful job at the participant seat. A lot of congruent energy, Charles. How was your time today, sir, on the Heart of Influence?
Thank you, Sean. And first and foremost, my time here was amazing. It was a real pleasure to be a part of this experience and meeting a lot of intellectual, smart, and people who think like myself. It was truly a pleasure.
Thank you. It was an honor for sure. And Bella Verita, we got some other fine folks that are here today.
We do have some other fine folks. We got the great grandson of is it Ida B. Wells? They say that correctly? Yes. So also kicking us off into the judge's seat. Thank you so much, Dan. And Dan, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
Oh, it's awesome. So fun and informative, and met some great people. Looking forward to staying connected with each and every one of you.
Dan, thank you for that, and really appreciate it. And beautifully honoring is it your great grandmother? How many greats?
Yes.
One great?
Yeah, one great. My father's grandmother.
Awesome. Great grandma. Yeah, awesome. Appreciate that a ton. Bella Verita.
And last up, we got Dougie. Dougie, thank you for being here. Great job in the feedbacker seat. And how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
Thank y'all for having me. It was fun. I felt like I was on almost like Shark Tank or something like that. People just things. So it was dope. I would definitely want to come back again as a judge and then maybe one day a participant. So
awesome. Well, yeah, Bella's the shark, and I just get eaten all the time. So that's all. Bella Verita, I think that brings us to the woman of the hour, does it not?
It does. It does.
Tanya Freeman, much gratitude for you and everything that you bring to everybody's lives here. This is a woman who gets it done. Imagine being appointed by a governor from one political party and being kept in place by a governor of another political party to run New Jersey's #1 trauma center as president of its board. That's what this woman is. She just causes is a magnet for Integris leadership. Tanya Freeman, please, your final, and thank you so much for today.
Well, I couldn't be more grateful for you and Bella and bringing all of the magic and the skill to the show. Love to see you in the hot seat, Sean, for sure. Now that you know I don't eat red meat, maybe we'll stop going to the Capitol Grill. Not. But really this group, it's the intentionality of bringing people together, and the intent was for them to all not just see the unblinded team flex their muscle, but to know each other. And there's some magic that they're all doing in the world. And we all, Sean, I know you can't see, but Bella heard this. These are all people of color on the show today. So that's super fun. And, we all touch Essex County, New Jersey in some way. Dan is out there in Chicago in the world of the Wetzels. So just bringing this powerful group of folks together.
Love that. Appreciate that a ton, Tanya Freeman. And for everybody in honor of Tanya and yourselves, in gratitude as well. A couple quick gifts. First, we're talking about influence and its superpower, which solves all the problems. So we want to provide you our group influence book. And you go, oh, another book on influence. Well, I looked and read like every book on influence, and I couldn't find anything that A, felt integrous, and B, felt like it actually was holistic and complete. So 20 years of my life later, you have our group influence book, and it could be your textbook, not an edutainment read, not an edutainment read, but something that will profoundly solve for like Martin Luther King and Abraham Lincoln and Oprah Winfrey and, President Reagan or Obama. Like, how did those people do what they did? Well, there's a science to it. And that book is what that science is all about. And second, if you really want to move ahead and figure out what to do with your influence and where to apply it, I've studied the world of human acceleration and business acceleration for 20 years. And what I found is it is full of holes. So if you want to close those gaps and create exponentially more acceleration, that may be the most powerful gift yet that Tanya Freeman has provided to you, is that acceleration session. So the links are in the chat. Lots more to do. We want to build a lifelong relationship with you and hopefully you with each other. From that place, Belvrita, this is how we started. Over to you.
This is how we started. I sat in the participant seat just like Charles and Emily about 4.5 years ago. And one of the best decisions that I ever made, because I had been searching for the right business strategy to grow and scale, and nothing compared to what I found here and Sean's mastery. So grateful to be here. Definitely check out those gifts in the chat and connect with each other, because that is why you're here. Thank you for being here. And Sean, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Bella. And we end every show by saying this. First, thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Bella. Thank you all for being here. And second, I may be physically blind, which I am, but I'm absolutely certain that the possibilities for all of us to accelerate sit right in front of our face and our eye. But at some level, Belvrita, we're all blind.
And just